Hey everybody, how you doing? This is Joe with Premium Travel Group. I welcome everybody here to the inaugural episode of Cruise Compass Live. I hope everybody is having a great time, and you guys can see me and hear me and do all like that since this is our inaugural episode. But we're going to go ahead and get started. Today's topic is actually just going to be planning your perfect cruise vacation in 2026. So what we're going to really kind of go over, is touch on a bunch of things. So, it's going to be a interesting, episode for us. We're just going through to officially launch this weekly live stream. We're going to be talking about all things cruise and travel, whether an experienced cruiser, planning your very first vacation, or love learning about travel. This show is designed to help you feel more informed, more confident, and hopefully a little more excited about your next adventure. Now, each week we'll be covering topics, ranging anywhere from cruise tips, discussing ocean and river cruises, destinations, cruise news and updates, travel planning advice. And as we get more people coming in, we're going to have live Q&A discussions as our community grows. But you're always welcome to drop a question anytime during the broadcast. So thank you for being here for the very first episode, whether you're watching this recording or whether you're here with us live. So as I mentioned before, tonight we're going to talk about planning your perfect cruise vacation in 2026. We'll also discuss some of the biggest trends happening right now in both ocean and river cruising. So the first thing we're going to kind of go over is cruise trends. Cruising continues to grow in popularity, and there are a few major trends we're seeing already for the 2026. One of the biggest trends is that travelers are booking earlier than ever before. Cruise lines are releasing bookings up to 3 years out in some cases, definitely 2 years. The best cabins, best promotions, even some of the most popular itineraries are selling out much faster than they used to. We're also seeing huge demand for Alaska, European, even Mediterranean. And one area that continues to grow very rapidly is river cruising. A lot of travelers are discovering that river cruises offer a more relaxed and immersive experience compared to larger ocean ships. Here in the U.S., you can sail in places like the Mississippi, go west, sail through the parks, sail the intercoastal waterway all the way down to Key West on a small ship with much fewer people. Another major trend is certainly the multi-generational travel. I just got off a November cruise with me, my wife, my son, my daughter-in-law, and my grandchildren. Perfect experience of that multi-travel, families traveling together, and we had a blast. So a lot of experience with family travel myself, but we're doing that. Cruise lines are continuing to expand the options for larger family groups. So, when you've got a big group going, reach out to us. We're more than happy to help you, get everything going, and really just, help you plan every step of the way. Excuse me, we're dealing with the allergies today. New ships continue to grow bigger, entertainment, new dining experience, and more technology on board than ever before. Examples are just simply look at the size of some of the Royal Caribbean ships, the MSC ships. It's really one of those things that we can never, really stop growing. It amazes me how far ships have come. Now we're going to kind of talk a little bit about ocean cruises versus river cruising. We kind of touched on a little bit, but one question that we hear a lot is what's the difference between the ocean cruise and a river cruise? And honestly, they're two very different vacation experiences. Ocean cruises are typically larger ships with more entertainment, more dining options, casinos, theaters, water parks, nightlife, and a lot of onboard activities. They're fantastic for families, for groups, for travelers who enjoy a variety. All depends on your group, of course. I have plenty of groups that sail on the river cruises as well. But, again, that's where we see the bigger boats. Now, river cruises, on the other hand, they're usually a much smaller ship, and they're more destination focused. Example, go explore Europe. Go through the Christmas markets. It's amazing what you will see. You land right in the heart of the city. You spend less time on the water and more time directly in the heart of the cities and towns. River cruising tends to feel a lot slower paced, a lot more intimate, a lot more cultural, and often more relaxing. And that mainly is because of where you're at. You're not out in the wide open ocean. You're not going to be, just everywhere. You're going to get a lot more of the professionals. Both are incredible experiences. It really just depends on what type of vacation you're looking for, though. Personally, I think more travelers should explore both because they each offer something unique. You never know what you're going to want. It's going to be one of those things that, you're going to try both to see which one you prefer. That's what we're here for. We're experts in both. I'm going to go over a few of the top questions right now. What I'm getting asked a lot of times. So we'll cover a few of the biggest questions that are certainly being asked. One of the most common ones right now is, when is the best time to book a cruise? Big case. So in most cases, earlier is better. Booking earlier usually gives you the better cabin choices. Sometimes lower pricing, not always, but better promotional offers definitely, and a lot more flexibility. Yes, there are deals to be had on last minute cruises, but they can be more rare as the ships are filling up more rapidly. Little tip, pick a port or itinerary that is not as popular, and you can find some great last minute deals because those ships are not going to be full. Um, I have sailed for as low as $1,500 in a balcony room on a 7 day. They can be found. They are there. So definitely don't, hesitate on that. Another common question is travel insurance worth it? In my opinion, absolutely. I subscribe to an annual plan because we do travel a lot. Travel insurance, you really got to look at it more like travel protection. It protects your investment from everything from cancellations, delays, a medical emergency, lost luggage, and unexpected issues. You missed the boat at the port. That's a big thing. If you're worried about not being able to go, then you've got to get a policy that gets canceled for any reason. But check the fine details. That is not always money back. Sometimes just a travel voucher, depending on the policy. This is where a travel advisor is very helpful in deciding what is needed, what would be best for you. So don't hesitate to reach out to a travel advisor. Not just me, any of them. Certainly, I want you to reach out to me. That's what I'm here for. Should I get a balcony cabin? Balcony cabins are extremely popular because they give you private outdoor space, amazing views. Not a bad thing to be drinking coffee first thing in the morning on your own private balcony, or better yet, late at night drinking a glass of wine. You just never know. But interior cabins can be your fantastic value. Okay, so travelers should spend most of their time exploring the ship or destinations. You're gonna go for the interior cabin. You're not going to be in there as often. And a perfect example, my wife and I did a 14-day itinerary on Princess in an interior room, and it was absolutely tremendous. Okay, we had an awesome time. You wonder, okay, well, why are we, sailing in the balcony? Well, my last cruise, yes, I did do a balcony. My next cruise coming up in a couple of weeks, yes, we did do a balcony. The reason why we do balconies, relaxing. If I just want to spend some time with my grandchildren, spend some time with my wife, better yet, just sit out there and do a thing. I always tell my clients, look at the I spend on the trip allows me to go on more trips in the future. Finally, the most common question, are river cruises only for older travelers? Not at all. We're seeing a lot of younger couples, even the multi-generational families, starting to discover river cruising because of the immense destinations and relaxed atmosphere. Think about sailing down the Nile. You can do it. Okay. The Amazon. You can do it. Okay. You'd be amazed at what you can actually do with river cruising. And you'd also be amazed at just how affordable it can be. What's included? River cruising is still pretty much an all-inclusive just about. You will absolutely love them. Just some quick cruise news and industry updates now. I know we're kind of moving on, and before we kind of wrap up, I just want to talk quickly about a few things happening in the cruise industry right now as we speak. Cruise lines continue expanding private destinations and their resort style experiences. Things that are going on. Celebration Key just opened up. Carnival just opened up their brand new island there. MSC's Ocean Cay Marine Preserve is actually expanding, getting a second island going right now, smaller, more intimate island. You've got Great Stirrup Cay by Norwegian. They are expanding, putting in a water park, building a brand new dock. So things continue to go. We're even seeing that in the Western Caribbean. We're seeing a lot more destinations. Norwegian kind of started that with Harvest Key, but now Belize, Royal Caribbean is building, their exclusive resort in Belize. They now actually own the port. They are also building some more things going on in Cozumel. Roatan has got the Carnival and I apologize, I forgot the name there. We're seeing more luxury and premium cruise options. If you want to sail on a smaller ship and see really up close things, ultra luxury cruising is the way to go. They are one of the big things with that is just you're gonna be spoiled like crazy. Okay. The ultra luxury is all concierge, it's all suites, it's everything. So if you want to be pampered and you want to be spoiled, that's the way to go. River cruise companies continue adding brand new itineraries and brand new boats throughout Europe, throughout China, throughout Japan, all throughout Asia, actually. I should have just said that to begin with, but also through Africa, through South America, through America itself. We have got American cruise lines, and the demand's getting so big that Celebrity Cruises is now released their own river cruise company. So that tells you where that's kind of going. Cruising overall, ocean and river, still remains one of the best vacation values because so much is included in the experience. Not to take away from all-inclusive resorts, but compare the prices. Okay. Some people don't like the sail. They call it the Petri dish. Well, can that happen? Sure. I always carry hand sanitizer with me personally. It has helped. I have not gotten sick on my last several cruises. Certainly COVID was a big thing. It was very hard. And sailing shut down for that. So, hopefully, we're going to see people start doing a little bit more of the preservation. You've got to, there's a reason why they have hand wash stations when you first walk into a buffet. But even beyond that, wash your hands first, but also use hand sanitizer before you start eating. That is simply because of the fact that when you do that, you're protecting yourself. So take those extra steps to protect yourself. Really, to wrap up, hopefully I covered a lot during this, and I know I did cover a lot. As I said, this is our inaugural episode. As we continue to grow and as we continue to do this, please join us every Thursday at 7 p.m. certainly. But I want to thank you for joining me on this very first episode of Cruise Compass with Premium Travel Group. I truly appreciate everybody who stopped by, whether you joined live or whether you're watching the replay later on. This is just the beginning, and I'm excited to continue building this community each week. If you enjoyed tonight's discussion, definitely be sure to follow the page, turn on the notifications. That way you get everything. Share the stream with your fellow travelers and friends. Okay. And if you have any questions or topics you'd like us to cover in the future episodes, leave them in the comments below. That way I will certainly cover them. Next week, we'll be back with, another episode of Cruise Compass Live. Haven't decided the title yet. I'm not going to tell you yet. But until then, happy travels, and we'll see you next Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern. Thank you again. Have a great day.